We're back in Brooklyn where I have my whiteboard and perhaps more importantly, very little ambient noise. Welcome to the Final Wager. I'm Keith Williams. As you may recall, I was in Los Angeles toward the end of last week and I recorded one video that I published. That was Wednesday. Thursday's video didn't go quite so well. Didn't realize at the time that it was very, very windy and my camera was not set up for that. So here's me talking about the blowout that Bellamy Young had. Greetings from the very placid waters of Marina del Rey, where we've just had some rain and temperatures are down. Bellamy Young is very happy at this game. So you can see why I value having at least some peace and quiet for a few minutes every day. Back to regular games. Fritz, our challenger, 16-6. Now I gotta point out that he had a daily double in a category called Elements for $800. Guess who else had a daily double for $800 under Elements? This guy. And he also underbet. I went for $4,000 even though I had $13,000 something. Fritz went for $2,000 even though he had 14 something. And he's caught in a little bind here with Andrew, our two-time returning champion. Cindy, tough game for her. Two buzzer demons here, and she's not going to be a factor in final. So let's look at what happens if Andrew doubles up. He doubles up, he's going to get up to 26.8. So to cover that, Fritz is going to have to put up a wager of $10,200. If he's wrong with that wager, he's going to be left with $6,400. So for Andrew to stay above that, that's a wager of $7,000. One thing I will point out is that if Fritz thinks that Andrew's going to just double up, or if he thinks he's going to go small, he could tag on a little bit more, just so as not to fall below Cindy. Cindy doubles up, she's going to have $1,600. That's going to be 15 grand for Fritz. That might come down in later calculations, we'll see. So that's it for our first order. Let's do purple for second order. Fritz looks at Andrew and says, Andrew, I think you're going to wager no more than 7,000 so that you win if I get it wrong over the lockout. So if you get that right, you are going to have 20,400. So to cover that, I will need to wager 3,800. Now, if Fritz is wrong with that wager, he's going to be left with 12,800. So to stay above that, Andrew can wager up to 600. And we could bounce back one more time. Andrew gets it right with that 600 wager. He'll have 14,000. That's not going to cover a zero wager by Fritz. So Fritz could wager up to 2,600 if he really wants. That's only if he thinks that Andrew is going to play conservatively. But Andrew's been a pretty aggressive player. I gotta say, all three daily doubles were in the second row. I don't know if that's happened in a while. I think last week with the celebrity games, they were doing that quite a bit just to get more money on the table. But generally in regular play, they've been third, fourth, fifth level for the most part, a few second level. This is the zero cover wagers, so they're separated by 3,200. Andrew can't do anything to improve that range, but he can improve this range, 3,200 to cover a zero wager. And to cover that Colby-esque unsafe wager, so that Fritz wagers no more than 3,200 so as not to fall below Andrew's pre-final total, that's going to be a wager of 6,400. So that's going to be his minimum over here. And 3,200 on the downside. Can't improve anything here, but 6,400 on the downside. We'll put that there. Now we'll dock each of the maximum wagers by $1 and add $1 to each of the minimum wagers, and we see that Andrew went for that 7,000, very bold move. Sucks to lose by $1 like that. I'll give him a yellow just because, maybe Fritz does something dumb and forgets to tack on that $1 because they think, oh, maybe I'll just go for the tie because I've been watching Keith's videos and I forgot to listen during the green room instructions. So, sucks, loses by $1, and Andrew now going to be joining the TOC leaderboard with his third win. Not a huge total, but hey, go by wins first and then by money. So he'll try to catch Elliot Yates tomorrow, he would need, I think, about 21 and change to pass him. 2 new challengers, and one other thing I should mention. This week's color scheme, as you probably know, I allow 5-time champions to pick the next week's color scheme. So Alex Jacob had his girlfriend pick a red, and Carrie and Kristen and Vaughn and John all picked different colors. Back to Julia. Greg Soroka is not on Twitter, and I don't feel it's particularly right to call his restaurant and ask him, hey, would you like to choose a color on a random website that you probably care nothing about? So I just took the dark green color from his restaurant, La Montaña, from that logo, and there we have it. So thanks, Greg, I guess, and we'll see you back in the TOC, and maybe you'll see Andrew there too. Find out how he does in Game 4 tomorrow on the Final Wager.